What does every videographer want? We want cinematic looking footage. And what does that mean? We have no idea. We go to these movies at the movie theaters, we see these awesome looking films and we go, I want my footage to look like that. But we don't really know what that means. Is it color? Is it density? Is it lighting? I don't really know either, but I do know that my footage looks different than what I see on the big screen. How do you get to that level? Well, today we're going to be checking out NiSi's Black Mist Filter. They claim that this filter will give you cinematic looking footage. Let's put it to the test.
Throughout this series, NiSi and Fstoppers are giving away over $600 worth of filters and tutorials. If you want to enter all 8 contests, make sure you click the link in the description below every time a new video is released.
If you've been following along, we have been filming an 8-part video series sponsored by NiSi Filters, and for this final video, they sent us 3 different Black Mist filters, a 1/8 power, 1/4, and 1/2, each one getting more and more extreme. So I had never heard of this filter before. I went on their website to check it out, and this is what it says that it does. It reduces highlights and lowers contrast. It creates a cinematic look, and it softens wrinkles and blemishes. Obviously, it sounds a little bit too good to be true, but of course, this was something that we had to put to the test. So before we started filming with Elia, we did a few tests inside and outside using these filters. So for this first test shot here, we started with my face with standard lighting, and you can see with no filter, with 1/8, 1/4, and 1/2. And I have to admit, when we got back on the computer and looked at this, I looked at Patrick and said, it does look a little bit more cinematic. I mean, what exactly is going on here? Well, obviously it's cut down on the contrast a bit. When you zoom in and really look at this footage, it does kind of feel a little bit more film-like, which I was very impressed by. For the next 2 tests, we really wanted to see what this is doing for backlights or highlights in the scene. And as you can see, when we add these filters to this shot, it is completely changing the way that the blooming in the background looks. And again, I have to admit, I hate saying it this way, but it does look a little bit more cinematic. I think it looks pretty interesting when you add these filters on. Maybe the 1/2 level filter is a little bit too harsh for my liking, but the 1/8 to 1/4 really does give these shots an interesting look. I did one more test with a slider movement inside while Patrick played this bass guitar. And again, I do think it looks better with these filters. For the final test, we went outside and got some clips of me standing in direct, really harsh sunlight. In this situation, I feel like the filters are losing a little bit of their magic. Instead of adding interesting blooming or something to the shot, it kind of just feels like you're losing contrast and sharpness at this point. I'm not exactly sure why, but I personally wasn't as big of a fan of this filter used in these lighting conditions. While we were filming this entire series with Elia, we did get clips here and there using these filters, but we didn't want to use these filters for the entire project because we didn't have 2 of the same filter and we wanted our cameras to be consistent. So we did lots of test shots, but we didn't shoot this entire project using this filter. So what are my final thoughts on these filters? Honestly, I'm far more impressed with them than I thought I would be. When I ever hear anything's going to make my footage look more cinematic, I think that's bull. It's just like marketing mumbo jumbo. But in this situation, especially for the shots inside, I think it really did. It made my footage look like it was shot on film. But because when I moved outside, it lost a little bit of that magic, I don't think I'm going to be using these filters all the time. And so like most other photo and video accessories, I think this is a tool that can be used for certain projects to get a very specific look. But I don't think you should buy it to leave on your camera permanently to give you that magical cinematic look. But in certain situations, it's definitely getting us one step closer. Big thanks to NiSi for sponsoring this video series. If you haven't seen each one of these 8 videos, definitely check those out in our YouTube channel. And you can head over to fstoppers.com/store to check out our Photographing the World series that we filmed with Elia Licardi, where we went all around the world with him multiple times, shooting some of the world's most beautiful landscapes.